Hey guys, Steve here. Today we got a new Pick a Premium video for you guys. You guys voted for Tirpitz, and here we go. Tirpitz is on the way. Hide on the screen there. You can see Cunningham, Kedrov with the build. There's the ship's build. Pick a Premium. How does this work? You go into the comments section. You write down the name of one premium ship. Put it in the comments box. Hit enter. That'll pop up onto the website. Then I'll go ahead and tally these votes up soonish, and then we'll even more soonish down the line review the ship that most of you guys pick. Last time we did this, some of you guys were voting like 3-4 ships in the same comment. You can only pick one here. Alright, let's keep this simple. But voting's pretty straightforward. You just pick one option, put it in the comment, and we'll review the ship that you guys pick next time. Anyway, here we got Tirpitz, Land of Tears, Sea of Tears, whatever this one is. Tears of the Cruiser, what the WoW's PC people call it. I have no idea. You can see already we're getting a little perturbed at our teammates. Fletcher, what are you doing, man? Oh, you don't want to spot? What's that? Oh, you want to go play the exact same position as the other two destroyers in our team. Okay, so we're going to have 3 destroyers scouting the exact same region, playing against the exact same ship, all capturing the same base. Piss poor deployment brought to you by your friendly Tier 7 destroyer players. Probably the most frustrating breed of players known to man. Don't leave home without them. Anyway, we're going to push in here because we don't concede sides. And frankly, at this point in time, I don't really care about this game, because if we're not going to get spotting, we're just going to go balls to the wall, see what happens. Tirpitz, how do we do this? Look like we have full health to no health, that guy, but someone nailed him really hard before we did. Then we come in with the follow-up Citadel and put him on the board for not a Hegon moment, not a Dev Strike, but a first blood of the game. Anyway, Tirpitz. One of the main problems people have with the Tirpitz. Number one, they sit in the back, sometimes even on the moon, sniping. Usually broadside, highly ineffective. If you fire your guns multiple times, especially at long range, and you see that they are extremely inaccurate, little bell should be going off in your brain saying, oh, this isn't a sniping battleship. Let's move forward. Problem number 2 players have with the Tirpitz, moving forward too quickly. So timing is everything. How do we figure out the timing? Well, let's look at this ship like kind of a wind-up toy. All right, we wind it up all the way and then let it loose. And as long as nothing's preventing it from moving forward, we want it to move forward. We want it to push into the enemy. We want to lean into these ships, get up close and personal, and deal with them that way. But there are certain things that will prevent us from moving forward, from stopping this wind-up toy dead in its tracks. And if we don't respond to these things that are stopping us, we will die. Number 1, destroyer pressure. Where's the destroyers on this game? Number 1, well, one of them went to B. The other pair were in a division. They weren't over here, so they got on the cap very quickly at C. We deduced both of those divisioned up destroyer players are down there. So we've accounted for all 3 destroyers. That's not stopping our pressure. So we've wound up the Tirpitz. We've let it loose. No destroyers stopping us. Crossfires are the other check to our forward progress in the ship. Bismarck blocked by the island, not paid attention to us. We got a couple other battleships really not in great position to deal with us. So we're just going to push forward here. Number 1, we're going to try and capture this base, and we're keeping that island that's directly in front of our ship between us and the Vlad so that we don't get spotted while we capture this. And then we're just going to get as close to that ship as possible. Goals when we get up close to the Vlad. Number 1, knock out the main turrets. Pretty easy to do on the Russian battleships. Number 2, we're going to see how he's moving. If he's moving in a way that we can get the torpedoes off into him, excellent. That'd be a great way to deal with the Vlad, because the Vlad is a very hard ship to deal with as well. It's kind of a close range brawler like the Tirpitz, but we do have some tools that he doesn't have, mainly the torpedoes. Scharnhorst looks to me like he's kind of limping away from an early beatdown, so he was probably just kind of limping off, trying to get a couple of cycles through his heel undetected. Unfortunately for him, we spot him, and he's a great target. We still got the island cover between us and the Vlad. Even if we end up peeking around there, we are angled towards the Vlad. Not worried about the Scharnhorst guns whatsoever. maybe they can do some damage to us, maybe not. But we're primarily, we're not giving them flat broadside, the Scharnhorst, but we are primarily angled to the Vlad, which, if we can maintain a nice deep angle, he'll have a hard time dealing damage to us. So you can see there, very steep angle. We shoot at the hull. We're not going to score any damage there. I'm trying to hit the guns. These low caliber Tirpitz guns, you'll see eventually we can damage these guns enough to knock them out, but it's harder to do than, let's say, if we're sitting here in an Iowa or something with a bit more punching power that could knock those guns straight away. But it's still worth shooting at them. Now here I want to discuss the angling. We're kind of forced to push into this crossfire because we are committed to dealing with this Vlad at this point in time. Ole iacta est, as they said in Greece, when Socrates poisoned his enemies, and Plato was forced to basically go for broke. So anyway, we're going for broke on the Vlad here. We are over-angling here. You can see to get these torps off, we are flipping back and forth like a fish on land, but we're turning too much, and because of that, we're taking wicked salvos. We're also pushing into crossfires here. Normally a no-go, but again, we have to kind of complete the sequence against this Vlad as soon as possible. So that's what we're doing here. But keep an eye on this back gun sequence here. We were briefly turning them to the left side of the ship, but due to the fact that we need one more torpedo salvo to finish the Vlad, now we're flipping them back. But we see an opportunity to shoot these back two turrets, which were, again, turning from the left side of the ship all the way to the position they're about to be in now. You can always look for those guns that are kind of in mid-traverse and see if you have opportunities. Now you can see there we got returning fire, so potentially all we did was tap them on the side of the skull, say, check us out, and then they looked at us, shot back. But I think they were already planning on shooting at us to begin with. But when you're in close range situations, brawling battleship situations, keeping an eye on those guns, shooting and engaging multiple targets at once and kind of flipping the guns around like that is a key way to play. Like, let's say we're in a protracted battle with that Vlad. We weren't able to kill him with the torpedoes, but we're forced to duel him. We could angle steeply towards him, fire at the front two guns at him, and then keep switching to the back two guns on the front two guns, reload, and continue to put some damage out towards these guys. There's always options like that, but usually those situations arise in these close quarter brawling situations. That's why when you can get into these close quarter brawling situations in the German battleships, in the Russian battleships, these brawling battleships are extremely fun to play. Tirpitz, I think this was the first campaign ship, if I recall. It's been a fan favorite basically since it arrived, and with good cause. I mean, it's definitely a fun ship to play. There's a rare situation where we loaded HE. Those of you that watch my channel a lot know that we don't fire a lot of HE salvos in battleships, and that was a pretty good example of why. Because as soon as we fired, he showed us just enough broadside that we would have killed him had we actually fired AP at him. Anyway, kind of an interesting, whoa, check that out moment. New Mexico, what are you doing, man? We call that a fail platoon in the business. If you're going to play in a division, great. I encourage you to do that. Play the same tier, please. You put your team at a severe disadvantage. So they got a failed platooner on their team. We got a destroyer that refuses to spot on our team. So kind of even in terms of less than ideal circumstances. Game's clearly wrapping up. We're trying to put some style points on this one, though. We do have an Edinburgh sitting there broadside. We're going to try and get this salvo off. Looks to me like he's kind of turning in here, so we adjust the shot there. I think he stopped the turn as soon as he saw us firing at him and then disengaged. Basically threw the salvo off. Either that or I can't aim. That's actually probably the more likely problem there. But either way, he dodged the shot, kept the gun silent, and then the destroyer that was spotting him briefly, I believe, popped a smoke. He must have gotten spotted by the cruiser. So to keep himself alive, we lose track of him, which isn't the end of the world. We're able to continue to push into the Edinburgh. Very nice concealment there, and you can see we can take a shot at that New Mexico attempting to steal the kill, which we do. But the Edinburgh, very nice concealment, even if you're not really speccing for it, which you do have the option to do on your British commander builds, but just left completely on its own devices. Very good concealment. There he pops up. We're kind of forced to shoot a salvo when he's angled there just because we're trying to get the kill. But you can see the one shell we hit bounces. However, we predict he's about to turn. He obliges us, and we do catch him with the predictive salvo, putting the Kraken on the board, and that's going to do it. So hopefully you guys like the Tirpitz. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Be sure to vote for next edition of Pick a Premium. Just pick any premium you want to see covered. Whoever gets the most votes will get some coverage. And we'll see y'all there. Peace!